How's it going, everybody? It's C-RadTV back with another video. It is time once again for another edition of Detroit Tigers Monthly. So, of course, another month of MLB baseball has hit the books, with now the All-Star Game out of the way and the 2019 MLB trade deadline out of the way. We now enter the home stretch of the MLB season, the final sprint to October. So, of course, before we get into the month, of course, the Tigers did make 2 trades at the deadline. I was going to make a separate video for it, but I decided, you know what, since it's so close to Tigers Monthly, I decided, you know what, just include it as part of the monthly episode. So I'll go over both trades, give you my thoughts on them. So trade number 1, the Tigers traded Shane Green to the Atlanta Braves. In exchange, the Tigers get left-handed pitcher Joey Wentz and outfielder Travis Demerit. In exchange, 2 solid players. Another pitching prospect, and we get another outfielder and another base hitter. So, getting some offense, like we badly need some offense without a doubt. With the Tigers' offense being the worst in the league. Disappointed to see Shane Green go. He's had a really solid time with the Tigers, especially this year. This month, though, Shane Green, he did pitch for 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned runs, had 11 strikeouts, didn't post the record, had an ERA of 2.57. So this month, the trade, his stock took a bit of a dip with an off month, but his other months have been really good. We got a decent return out of him. I would have liked to see him stay, but hey, it is what it is. We now got to find another stud closer. Now, trade number 2 is the big talk. Trade number 2 saw the Tigers trade Nick Castellanos and some cash to the Chicago Cubs. In exchange, the Tigers get right-handed pitchers Paul Rashan and Alex Lang in exchange 2 minor league pitching prospects. So we now add 2 more prospects to the pitching pipeline in the farm system. Hopefully they can get better there since the pitching looks promising, but the rest not that much. Well, I guess it's been rumored since last year that Castellanos wanted to trade, and it really heated up this month since Castellanos said he wanted to be playing for a winning/contending team, and he understood the Tigers' situation because the Tigers are the closest thing away from being a championship contending team. They are the furthest thing away, not even close. Tigers are full on rebuild. So you know what? It's best to just trade Castellanos now, get something back in return, instead of getting nothing back, and hopefully the farm system can make those prospects good. But of course, this month, Castellanos did have a solid month to boost that trade stock. He had 11 runs, 9 RBIs, and 3 home runs, a batting average of .258. Hey, I think it was obvious Castellanos was going to be gone at the end of the year. So yeah, I like the idea that we trade him. Got a decent return, adding more pitching arms to the pipeline, since the pitching looks actually promising. But yeah, let's just go jump into the month. Just thought I'd give you my quick thoughts on it real quick. But yeah, let's now jump into July and see how the Tigers did. Oh boy. So in the month of July, the Tigers went 5-20. They are now 5th in the Atlantic Division. They sit 32-72 entering August. They are 32 games behind the division, 27.5 games behind the wild card. They are 3-10 in their last 10. They enter August on a 1-game winning streak. They split no series, but they won 1 series in July. They won a series against the LA Angels. Oh, they won 1 series in the tank job. In terms of Tigers runs, Tigers scored 102 runs in July, averaging 4.1 runs a game. They gave up 157 runs, averaging 6.3 runs a game. So offense is a little better, but it needs to improve a lot. But with the Tigers draft order, the Tigers are officially first in the draft order. They are now the worst team in the league. The Tigers tank job has done it. They have made it to first in the draft order. They just gotta hold on. They enter August with a 2.5 game lead over Baltimore for the first spot in the draft order. Honestly, at this point, I think the Tigers are going to be full-on tanking from here on out. Honestly, the Tigers, them trading Shane Green and Nick Castellanos, that's them officially throwing in the towel. And you know what? You're first in the draft order. Don't mess it up now. I'll get more of my thoughts on what the Tigers need to do next season to improve at the end of the video. Let's just continue on now. Some turns of the Tigers hitters and offense, we'll go through it. So John Hicks had a decent month, 7 runs, 9 RBIs, 4 home runs, batting average of 189. Tigers prospect Jake Rogers got 2 games in this series. In those 2 games, he had 3 runs, 2 RBIs, and a home run, a batting average of 500. Honestly, we're going to need a lot more games out of him to get a good scoop on how he's going to be. Gordon Beckham had a solid month. 5 runs, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs, batting average of 170. Miguel Cabrera had a bit of an off month from his normal production. 5 runs, 6 RBIs, 2 home runs, batting average of 213. Not as good as we've seen in previous months, though. Jamer Candelario had a really solid month. 9 runs, 15 RBIs, 5 home runs, batting average of 209. He's produced really well, but the batting average could go up a little bit. Harold Castro had himself a month. 9 runs, 11 RBIs, a home run, a batting average of 310. Brandon Dixon had another solid month, too. 11 runs, 11 RBIs, 3 home runs, batting average of 278. Nico Goodrum also had a solid month, too. 13 runs, 11 RBIs, 4 home runs, batting average of 284. Jordy Mercer, another decent month for him, coming up on short notice. Had 7 runs, 3 RBIs, 3 home runs, a batting average of 227. Jacoby Jones had a bit of an off month. 6 runs, 2 RBIs, a home run, a batting average of 151. Victor Reyes, he had 9 runs and 3 RBIs and a batting average of 236 coming up on short notice, too, from the minors. Kristen Stewart also had 7 runs, 6 RBIs, and a home run, batting average of 282. But it comes at a cost because Kristen Stewart has officially been injured. He's now on the 7-day IL with a concussion protocol. So he's out with a concussion. Of course, Josh Harrison is still out with that strained left hamstring, as he was supposed to return in July but suffered a setback, so he's going to be out longer. Grayson Greiners got injured, of course, still out with the lower back strain. He's supposed to make his return around mid to late August, pending no setbacks. So, yeah, offense was a little better, but there's still a lot of improvement that needs to be made. And honestly, they got to get better at the baseball fundamentals, because I watched a lot of the games. They played incredibly sloppy, so many errors committed that shouldn't have happened. It's just incredibly sloppy baseball. And usually the old saying is, you are what your record says you are. The Tigers are the worst team. In July, they played like the worst team, without a shadow of a doubt. So, yeah, a lot of improvement needs to be made. In terms of pitching, Victor Alcantara, he pitched for 2.4 innings in July. Gave up 6 runs and 6 earned runs. Had 2 strikeouts and an ERA of 22.50. A record of 0-1, and he's also been placed on a 10-day IL with a right middle finger contusion after getting surgery on his right middle finger, so he has also been hit with the injury bug. Tyler Alexander also had a decent month, too. 16.1 innings pitched, a record of 0-1. Gave up 7 runs and 7 earned runs, had 14 strikeouts, ERA of 3.91. Matthew Boyd, a solid month for him, 30.2 innings pitched, a record of 1-2. Gave up 16 runs and 16 earned runs, had 49 strikeouts, an ERA of 4.77. Jose Cisnero, he pitched for 7.7 innings in July, had a record of 0-2. Gave up 3 runs, 3 earned runs, had 8 strikeouts, an ERA of 3.51. Buck Farmer had a really solid month. Pitched for 10-point innings in July. Posted a 0-0 record. Gave up 2 runs and 2 earned runs. Had 15 strikeouts and ERA of 1.67. Blaine Hardy had a bit of an off month. Had pitched for 7.1 innings in July. Had a record of 0-1. He gave up 6 runs, 6 earned runs. Had 11 strikeouts. An ERA of 7.61. Eduardo Jimenez had a couple games in. got a good idea of what he looked like. Pitched for 2 innings, posted a 0-0 record. Gave up 1 run and 1 earned run, had 1 strikeout, an ERA of 4.50. Joe Jimenez, he pitched for 10.1 innings in July, posted a record of 0-0. Gave up 5 runs, 5 earned runs, had 12 strikeouts, an ERA of 4.46. Daniel Norris, he pitched for 25.3 innings in July, had a record of 1-1. Gave up 14 runs, 14 earned runs, had 26 strikeouts and an ERA of 4.98. Nick Ramirez is the only Tigers pitcher this month with a winning record. Pitched for 17.6 innings in July, had a 2-1 record, gave up 13 runs, 12 earned runs, 17 strikeouts, and ERA of 6.14. So the ERA could really improve. Trevor Rostenol, he came in with a decent month, coming off of the waivers list from the Nationals to come to the Tigers now. Pitched for 7 innings in July, posted a record of 0-0, gave up 3 runs and 2 earned runs. Oops, sorry about that, folks. I got a phone call during the middle of that recording there, so I had to take that call real quick, so sorry about that. So as I was saying, Trevor Rostenol gave up 2 earned runs, had 10 strikeouts, an ERA of 2.57. Gregory Sato, he pitched for 13.2 innings in July, had a record of 0-2, gave up 9 runs, 9 earned runs, had 13 strikeouts, an ERA of 6.14. Spencer Turnbull, he pitched for 9 innings in July, had a record of 0-1, gave up 8 runs, 7 earned runs, had 4 strikeouts, an ERA of 7.0. And he has officially been placed on a 10-day IL with upper back strain, so he has also been bit with the injury bug. Drew Verhagen, he pitched for 8.2 innings in July, with a record of 0-2, gave up 11 runs, 9 earned runs, had 6 strikeouts, an ERA of 9.88. So he's always giving up a lot of runs every time he goes out to pitch. And last but not least, Jordan Zimmerman, he pitched for 19.5 innings in July, had a record of 1-3, gave up 26 runs, 26 earned runs, had 14 strikeouts, an ERA of 12.0. He did turn it around at the end of the month. But, yeah, he had a really, really off month. A really bad month. Hopefully he gets it turned around. Like, a lot of the pitching was pretty decent. A lot of the pitching could improve a little bit, but, you know, I think Tigers are honestly, like I said before, I think Tigers are tanking from here on out. In terms of other injuries, Fulmer is still out for the season, of course, with the right elbow surgery. Matt Moore is also still out for the season with the right knee surgery. Tyson Ross is still out on a 60-day IL with the ulnar uterus and his right elbow injury. So yeah, could be returning sometime in August. We're just going to have to wait and see. Either that or I say just shelve him for the rest of the year and just tank out. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up here for the July edition of Detroit Tigers Monthly. Like I said before, honestly, at this point in the year, I think the Tigers are going to tank. You know, try and get the best draft pick possible at this point. Like, they're sitting in the spot, the first overall pick. Like, you may as well not mess the tank up now. Like, don't mess up a shot the first overall pick when you have it in the bag. But yeah, you know, I'd say overall we need to improve offensively on the ball and get some more outfielders and infielders. Like, we need players that can know the fundamentals of baseball. We need to teach that more in the farm system, because it's incredibly sloppy and needs to improve drastically. And honestly, at this point in the season, I would be comfortable with saying that I think the Tigers need to fire Ron Gardenhire. Like, the only way I would have kept him this year is if the Tigers win 65 games or better. But since they're nowhere, like, if the Tigers, my mindset was this: if the Tigers win 65 games or more this year, I would keep Gardenhire for another year. But if the Tigers win 64 games or less, then I would fire Gardenhire. And at this point, it's looking like it's going to be a lot less than 64 wins. Like you don't fire a coach or manager unless there is no progression. Like, if there is no improvement, then you got to make a change. Like, I think we need a new manager here that can help this rebuilding team. Because this rebuild is now taking a turn for the worse. And yes, in terms of this, though, the Tigers have also extended GM Al Avila for 2 more years. I think the extension was a bit premature. I would have waited till the end of the season to extend him. But hey, you know, now he's still on board for 2 more years to try and get this rebuild on the right track. You know, try and get it turned in the right direction, because it's now taking a turn for the worse. But yeah, you know, that's just my thoughts on, you know, the rest of the season. So I guess at this point, embrace the suck. And of course, with us in the last 2 months of the season, of course, now the race is on to try and make the MLB playoffs, the push to October. So the second half of the season, normally for my predictions, I never do predictions for the second half of the season. Never did it in NHL, never did it in NBA, never did it in NFL. So you know what? I'm going to keep that trend going in MLB. I'm going to make no predictions for the second half. I'm just going to leave it all out. But yeah, that's all I got to say for this month. Hope everyone has a great day, and yeah, peace out and motor on.
Oh, there's a goal!